I'm going to tell you one thing. It amazes me when I see Cubans supporting Democrats. It amazes me when I see Cubans supporting Democrats. I guess maybe the ones that were born in the United States. But real Cubans, the ones that are born in Cuba, the ones that experience the communist belief, the dictatorship of Fidel Castro, it amazes me when I see them supporting Democrats because it is similar. It's going into that path. You see the same tactics that we had in Cuba being applied by Democrats. Every Cuban remember the CDR, the Committee Revolutionary, whatever that thing used to stand for. Every bloc had one. And every bloc was pretty much commanded to report to the government. Remember those guys? Nobody liked them in Cuba. You know how I know that? Because I was born there. Right? Similar. Democrats make it really easy. And in fact, they develop databases and way for you to snitch on your neighbor. Just the same way that Fidel Castro had a system that allowed you as a citizen to snitch on your neighbor and provide reconnaissance to the government. They do the same thing. Democrats have been pushing for databases, and they've been pushing for tell your neighbor. If your neighbor is bringing too many people to the house, let them know, because a whole covet. Right? You see it all the time. By the way, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell. Let me know what you think about comments or videos like this. Share your opinions. I'm going to share this video, and then I'm going to continue telling you some of the similarities. Because when I see things like this, I kind of find myself thinking, really? Do you actually expect them to do something? You actually expect, or are you mad that you voted for Biden and he's not doing anything regarding Cuban? When you see that the people that you voted, Mr. Cuban, and again, not many Cubans or a lot of Cubans agree with me. A lot of Cubans think the same way that I think, because you guys know that for a president that was so racist, Mr. Trump, wow, he really had support from the Hispanics, a lot. Apparently Hispanics like him, and they voted for him, for somebody that was so racist, right? Get out of here. So let's go ahead. Let me come up here and let's watch this.
Nothing.
Here we go. This person is light up, by the way. Let me start it from the beginning.
He hasn't done anything for us. Nothing.
Is there anything that you want to have accomplished? If Biden could do one thing, what would you want?
I want them to help us get freedom, because when Biden needed a lot of our Cuban votes, because I'm from Florida, and when him and Kamala came to Florida that he wanted our help, I was one of the ones, just like millions of Cubans, voted for him. And he hasn't done anything for us. Nothing. He needs to step up, because he has helped a lot of other countries, okay? Why not Cuba? Is he a communist too? That is my question to you, Biden. I voted for you. You haven't done nothing for my people.
Here's the first thing I'm going to do. Let me put my camera right here. You actually expected Biden to do something for the Cubans? Now, that's funny. That has to be a joke. I'm sincerely laughing that you actually thought that Biden and Kamala was going to do something for the Cuban people. They don't care. They don't care about Cubans. They don't care about Cuba. They don't care about none of those things. The only thing that they told you is for you to vote for them. That's it. It's like the same time that Biden says, if you're in black, you're not voting for me, or something. Wait, I'm getting a phone call. Or something like that. Remember that? If you're in black, if you don't vote for me, you're in black. Come on. They tell you whatever they wanted to tell you for you to vote for them. For you to vote for them. But it's really disappointing to see Mr. Cubans voting for Democrats. They are legitimate, utilizing communist tactics. So when you ask the question, are you a communist? Yes. Sounds to me. Let me get this straight. You're not a communist. You're trying to take our Second Amendment rights. You're trying to control us by pretty much not putting us back to work because, you're bringing people back to work. I seriously doubt that. Essentially, what you're doing is continue to give money to people so people can depend on you. Fidel Castro did stuff like that. They control the people, right? So not only there's no jobs, people are completely dependent on the government. So you could control them by giving them money, by giving them houses. You're taking the opportunity of people to have freedoms and have a great life, because you know what? If you go out there and you work and you go out there to and push yourself to be better, you could become so many great things, right? And then you could live such a great life. But no, you're living a life in just that $800 that the government is giving you, and you're not doing nothing else because you're not encouraged. You're just doing whatever, so the government will give you money. So, yeah, about this, you're making all these drugs free, right? I remember this from Cuba. Fidel Castro used to give you so much alcohol, so much, so you could be essentially so drunk that you don't even want to fight for your rights, right? Because you're drunk. Democrats support for you to be high all the time. If you want to be high, the Democrats is a great group to have. They promote to take away your rights by taking away your Second Amendment rights. Didn't Fidel Castro do something like that, Mrs. Cuban? Shame on you for voting for him, right? Yes, they want to take your guns. They talk about it all the time. They censor the people by social medias, places like this, where they censor your videos, they censor your posts. They're being caught day after day. They get caught. They even have to go into Congress hearings, Facebook, Twitter, and all these big dogs to talk about censorship. Who else does that? Fidel Castro did that. Censors communication. Right now they're trying to put the internet to the Cuban people so they could communicate, right? So again, censoring. You see it all the time, right? They give you free stuff all the time so they can control you. So when you think about Democrats and things that they do compared to the communist country, you know one of the things that Fidel Castro did? Took away God out of the picture. Literally, God out of the picture. Because by controlling your Christianity, and by you just following that communist belief, instead of following what the Lord says, you're following what communists are saying, they can control you even more. Because the communist people know that, by the way, if you truly believe in the Lord and you truly believe that this is the way, there is nothing that is going to stop you. Not even communists. People are going to stop you, right? Because you love the Lord with all your heart. And that was a problem for the communists. So what they did? They took away God too. Barely any churches in Cuba that I remember, right? Every now and then you saw a Catholic church, but really not too many of them. A lot of Santeria and things like that. You know what I'm talking about if you know what that means. What do the Democrats do? They hate God. They hate God. Any policy that they could put that is anti-God, they will put it in place because they hate God. They want to give you drugs so you could be high. They want to give you, they take away the love of God from you. They want to give you free stuff so you can completely dependable on them. They want your neighbor to snitch on you. Constantly they talk about that. They censor your information that you push out there. They're mandating you to, or they shame you for you not to take a shot or for you not to wear a mask. They want to take your liberties by shaming you. I just talked to a person that told me that. Man, I came into this city, not a lot of people have a mask, and I felt like weird. I was like, because you are used to being a slave. Right? So, again, they shame you for you to do that, just like the Cuban government does. So, you know what? Here's the thing that I'm going to say to Cubans, right? And I'm going to say this because I was born in Cuba. I came here at 14. I know what Cuba is all about. Shame on you for voting Democrat. You should have seen that they are just like Fidel Castro, right? Not to the extreme yet. There's still much to go. But you should have seen, as a person that was born in Cuba, as a person that witnessed communist belief, you should have seen the beginning of their communist tactics that are trying to implement to you by telling your children that communist is good things. You know, I had conversation with my children. No, everybody deserves the same thing. Not everyone deserves the same thing, by the way. If you don't work, you don't deserve the same thing than the person that work. If you are lazy and you're in your house not doing anything, you definitely does not deserve the same thing that a person that is out there working every single day from the sun up to the sun down. Who told you you deserve the same thing? It's not biblical. Let me know what you think. Put comments down below. And as always, God is in control.